I forgot to take my retainer out. I gotta check this whole thing again. That's annoying. Hey everybody, Lord Cinder here, and today's video is not a different one. It's one we did a few years here on the channel. A few years ago, sorry. And since then, I haven't really updated or mentioned anything about it really on the channel since then. You've obviously read the title. We're going into more paranormal experiences in my room, basically. And there have been some freaky ones, absolutely freaky, weird, absolutely weird ones that have actually happened not too long ago, which is quite scary in all honesty. But without further ado, let's jump right on into this. So there were actually a lot of things that I kept out of the first video. One, because I didn't know if I should connect it to paranormal stuff or if it was just dreams that were weird. Yeah, I didn't know if it was just really bad dreams or they had something to do with paranormal, but I kind of put two and two together afterwards and it really did feel slightly paranormal. And number two was that I was filming on an iPod and there's only like a 15-minute mark that you have to reach on, well, not have to reach, but that's like the maximum amount of video you can have. So of course, if you've seen that video is cutting really close to 15 minutes. So I had to cut some stuff out, unfortunately. But basically the first one I'm going to start off with was the one that got cut out of the video. So just a week before I had filmed that video, I was laying in bed, you know, sleeping, having some good dreams, and all of a sudden it just went south. It went south real quick. Basically what happened in the dream was I was on Skype with my boyfriend at the time, and in the dream I have this little like speaker at home. I'll insert a picture of it or whatever. And basically what happened was, while on Skype, it started like lifting up and like floating towards me in the dream as if something had picked it up and was like handing it to me. And I said to him on Skype, I was like, hey, I gotta go. There's some weird shit going on. And anyways, in the dream, for some reason it felt like a movie trailer, but like at the same time it felt really real. It was the weirdest fucking thing. So it kind of just like cut, but at the same time I was hearing voices kind of like talking over, like, you know, when you watch an action movie like trailer. That's basically what I experienced in my dream. So anyways, I'm standing at my dresser, which has a mirror on it. I kind of say, like, over top of myself, like looking in the mirror, I feel like there's something always behind me, something always watching me. And in the back, kind of like corner, I could see in the mirror there was like this black shadow just kind of hanging around there right by my bookshelf, and it was just standing there. And in the dream, I like turned around, like, you know, that dramatic turn that they do in the trailers is basically that. And then from there it cut again to the living room, like the basement, sorry, it cut to the basement living room. My brother was on an Xbox and I was telling him about actually the dream I was in. Like the dream, like within the dream, I'm telling my brother about the dream. And I'm telling him, I'm like, no, I had this dream where there was like this shadow, and I'm telling him all about it, but he's too busy wrapped up in video games or whatever. And I had this feeling in my stomach, turn around. So I turned around in the dream, and standing behind me was this, was creepy as there's this little girl. Her hair was like all curly and shit. She's wearing this like poofy ass dress, but all under here and around, I have to make sure I'm getting the right spot, all around here it was black, and she just had this like look on her face, and because she was way smaller than me, she's looking up at me like this. I was like, oh, what the f-? Like, in a dream, I just, like, stopped and I'm, like, staring at her. I'm like, And from there, I actually woke up. But, you know, after having a dream like that, you can't normally wake up. I got sleep paralysis after that. So, basically, if you don't know what that is, it's when you're awake, like your eyes are open, you can see, but your body is in a dreamlike state where you can't move, you can't, or even you can't even talk. You just only move your eyes, basically. You're completely still, you can't say anything, you can't scream, shout, let it all out, like you can't do any of that. And I had that. But, so I'm laying there in my bed and I look by my door, and what, to my surprise, is there? A nice black shadow of a person. And I started freaking out, like I seen this thing, whatever this thing is. And I remember, I'm like, oh my god, this is a dream, this is not real, they're not real, that thing's not real, nothing's real. And I close my eyes and I open them again. I'm able to move, and that thing is gone. And I was like, what the heck just happened? So I turn over and I look at the time. It says 9 a.m. Okay, cool, whatever. I got out of my bed and I got out of my room. Also, that pink thing on my roof, yeah, that was spinning. I gotta get a video of that for you guys. Weird. I went upstairs and I told my mom kind of everything that was happening, this dream and what happened afterwards. And she's like, well, don't worry about it, like, you know, it could be a sign of some sort or blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe. I have no idea at this point. So anyways, we're sitting there and we're talking and having fun, and at around 10 o'clock the phone starts to ring. My mom picks up and she's like, hello? And then she just sounded really surprised afterwards. She's like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You know, talking on the phone. And so my mom, after a few minutes or whatever, of my mom sounding really surprised, she hung up the phone and I asked her, I'm like, who was on the phone? She's like, oh, that was your aunt. I'm like, why is my aunt calling? She said, my mom looks at me, she's like, well, your grandma had a stroke this morning at 9 a.m. Okay. Like, I don't want to say that's paranormal, but like the coincidence of having that dream and then having that weird experience and then, you know, my grandma having a stroke kind of all at the same time, that's fucking weird. Weird. I don't care who you are. That is weird. And my mom looks at me afterwards and she says, she's like, I told you it was a sign. So kind of the next one I want to talk about, this one's really quick. You know how people always mention, oh, you wake up at 3 a.m. and weird shit happens, because that's apparently between the two dimensions, our reality and the spirit realm. I learned this from YouTubers. That's when the barrier is thinnest, so spirits can cross over, or we can cross over, and they say like weird stuff happens because the spirits are crossing over and all that kind of stuff. Well, I definitely do believe it, between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. So basically what happened, this one's really quick. So I'm laying in bed and I just happen to wake up. I'm in a hot sweat, like I'm like having a hard time breathing, and I don't know what dream I had beforehand, but I remember waking up and I was having a hard time breathing. And at this point I was having really bad chest pains too, and I still kind of get them but kind of not. I could talk about that in a totally different video. But anyways, and I was getting really bad chest pain. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm laying there and I look by my dresser mirror, because that's always where I like to look first. And of course, because my luck, There's a black shadow. You can see the outline of head, shoulders, head and shoulders. Sorry, I hate myself. You can see the outline of head and the shoulders, and oof. I don't think I've actually been so scared in my life. Like the getting sleep paralysis and seeing that thing, that was bad. This one, I just felt scared, like just scared. Like I had a bad feeling about it. And so without me saying anything, doing anything, moving, this thing just like was there and then out my door. Like it was so weird. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, what the heck?
Well, hello there. This is quite surprising. But I actually have to cut the video off right here. I know. I was getting into the last story, probably the scariest one. For me, it is. I have to cut that last video out just because the video is going to be about like 20 minutes long if I keep it in. So I'll actually be doing a second part to this where it's that final, story. And yeah, you guys will be getting that story though. I promise. Promise, 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 promise. I don't know if it's gonna go up the same day as this one, or if it'll be sometime during the week. I don't know, we will have to see. Hopefully it'll be up in the same day, or even a day later. Yeah. So yeah, with that all being said, I apologize, but I have to do it, or else one, it's gonna take forever to load, or not load, but upload. And two, I don't want a 20-minute long video because that gets boring after a while. So it's nice to have it split off into 2 parts, and yeah. So I'm gonna do my little ramble spiel thing. But if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, and I'll put an annotation kind of at the end, or a card, whatever the heck those are called, of my last paranormal video that I did about a year ago. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notifications. With that all being said, I will see you all in my next video. So, woo! Bye, guys!